And maybe we're gonna start the questions. Should I start the questions now? I'm gonna start the questions now. So actually, these are questions that are not directly from my channel, but they are coming from another channel called Reactor Onyaku, which is a Japanese channel, which is translating my reactions in Japanese. I've allowed them to do that, and actually they got questions that they sent to me that they would like me to address. So that's what I'm going to do. Just let me. So this is the Japanese channel that is translating, that is doing a translation of my reactions and posting in so the Japanese audience can have them subtitled. And they are allowed to do that. I've given them my I've agreed so they can do that, so it's okay. Not all channels are okay. By the way, if you see any other channel that is taking my videos and posting them as their own, or please tell me, because that's not allowed. So because I found there's a lot of channels that are doing that. I had a conversation with other YouTubers, reacting YouTubers, about that, and it's a real plague when people do that and they are not allowed to do that. So, but this channel is allowed to do it, so yes. So first question: if you could have a conversation with any of the characters of Attack on Titan, what would it be, and what kind of conversation would you like to have? Good question. Oh, so that's how you came, Barrican. Nice, awesome. So what kind of am I allowed to say that I would like to have a conversation with Erwin and just giving the answer to the basement? Like, just tell him what he always wanted to know, because that's my big frustration, I think, from the show, is that he never got to know. So yeah, I would definitely want to have a conversation with Erwin, tell him everything, and I so would want to know what he would do and who he would side with. Would he side with Eren's plan? Would he side with Zig's plan? Would he side with Mikasa and Armin? Who would he side with? And yeah, that's who I would love to have a conversation with at this moment. Obviously, I would love to have a conversation with Andy, with Rivai, with Eren even, in some degree. But yeah, right now I would definitely want to sit with Erwin. Second question from the Reactor Onyaku channel. Did watching Japanese animation have any impact on your work as a filmmaker? What impact does it have? The answer to that is yes and no. Why? Because at the moment I'm not creating anything. In fact, a couple of weeks ago I finished writing a pilot for a sci-fi show that I was working, a project that I was working on with two other fellows of mine. And watching anime, let's say it showed me another way to do things, but for what I wanted to do, I could not do the same. So it's not so much that it influenced my work, it's more that it gave me a reference, because our animes are designed is very particular. First of all, there's a real difference between how you do stuff in live action and how you do them in animation. In animation, you can allow yourself to be a bit fake, if I could say so, in how the characters are gonna speak and act. Because in animation, a lot of things work differently than when it's embodied by an actual person on screen. The relationship that you have as a viewer to another human is different than the one that you have to an animated character. That's just what happens. And so you don't treat things the same, which is mainly why when you take an animation and you do a live action adaptation, doesn't really work, and vice versa. Death Note is a perfect example of that. Death Note as an anime works magnificently because the situation, the characters, the thoughts they have, the actions they have, it works, and in live action it just doesn't really work for several reasons. And so you have to do a work of adaptation, but then it's not the same. So watching Attack on Titan just shows me how you can do things were I on another media. And it also shows me what I can't do as a live action series, you know. So that's what I take from it. And the same goes with right now Demon Slayer. I've talked about it in my reactions, but Demon Slayer has a way to over-explain things that is obvious, but it's working in the anime form, but it wouldn't work in a live action work. So that's what I take from in my work, in the impact that it has on my work, if you will. Third question. If you were the author of Attack on Titan, what aspects of Attack on Titan story would you improve? Definitely, I would love to try to change the over-explanation thing and the reveals. Take, for example, Season 2, Episode 6, the reveal of Bertolt and Rainer. No, I'm coming back on that. That was nicely done. And yes, there were hints, you know, so you could guess that they were the Colossal Titan and the Armored Titan. Namely for Rainer, the hair. And for Bertolt, if you will, maybe the height, the slim physicality, maybe. Annie wasn't, to me, the female Titan wasn't so much of a good reveal because yes, the female Titan was blonde, but the haircut was clearly Mikasa's. So it was because Annie always has her hair tied. So maybe at a moment I would have had her with untied hair. Namely, there's Armin's plan to catch Annie. You know, I hate it when Attack on Titan has something happening, like Armin's plan at the end of season 1 to catch Annie, and then they're like, flashback. This is always known all along. He's always prepared all along. I don't like when they do that. And they've done the same in season 2, season 3, season 4, and I kind of grew tired of it. Maybe the first time it's fine to do it, but they've been doing it a lot, you know, where characters do something and then flashback. They've known all along, they've been preparing this all along, and you're just like, well, there was no way for me to guess that. Because sometimes when you can guess something and you don't see it, but then it happens and then you're like, ah, okay. It's good. It's a good twist, it's a good plot, because it's been there all along, you just couldn't see it. But when they do that in Attack on Titan, it's slightly, mildly even annoying. Because you just couldn't guess it. You just couldn't guess it and they're dropping it on you. It's like watching... What's a great mystery movie? Fourth question from the Reactor Onyaku channel. Why did you decide to watch Attack on Titan? It was popular. It was popular and both I was curious to see something that a lot of people seem to enjoy. I believe it's a responsibility of someone who would call themselves a filmmaker to see what is being done out there, both TV and movie side and other works. But so yes, I hadn't seen Attack on Titan, so I felt like I somewhat had to. So that's why I decided to watch Attack on Titan. But yes, fifth question, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes. What are your impressions and thoughts on Japanese animation? So I don't know if the question is about Japanese animation, you know, big Japanese animation, or no, I mean just the graphics or how it is made and everything. But mainly I find it fantastic. Japanese animation is unlike any other animation. France animation is, and I think it just has to do with the style and so on. French animation is a lot based on comedy. American, let's say like that, American animation is a lot based on action, but not action like fighting, but it has to be paced quite fast, you know. There's got to happen things really fast and a lot of things. While Japanese animation is really more slow-paced, poetry, more centric on feelings, but it has to do also a lot, not just because of the style, but because of the type of stories that you want to tell. Sixth question, what is your favorite animation you have watched, not limited to Japanese animation? Wow. My favorite animation? I don't know, maybe I'm gonna have to watch... I'm gonna consult Google, maybe just to give me names of animation movies. Because I may forget that some exist. There's obviously Disney movies, you know. Maybe my heart's gonna go to a Disney, but maybe because it's my childhood, I don't know. Pinocchio was a big thing. Nemo not so much. Toy Story was a big thing. Shrek, for me. Was really good. Ratatouille, WALL-E. The Incredibles were fantastic, but the best, wow, I really like The Nightmare Before Christmas. That counts as animation. I love Tim Burton animation. It's Bride. What's it called? Tim Burton's Corpse Bride. I really love that movie, but I don't know. Let me know what's your favorite animation overall. Could be a movie, could be a series, could be Let me know, I'm curious to know. I'm not sure I have an answer for that one. Because I'm sure I'm forgetting things right now. I'll have to think about it on a longer run. Next question. I always enjoy watching your videos, and I am always amazed by Killian's ability to consider them. So my question is, thank you very much. So my question is, do you have any tips for considering stories? Yes, it's just forget what you think is good and wrong. Forget what you think is good and wrong, and then you'll be able to consider stories. That is something when you're, as a filmmaker, you're required to do. You need to forget, it doesn't mean you need to forget what your own principles are and so on, but you need to forget what good and bad is. Because, you know, you may knowing that something maybe is bad doesn't prevent you from being your choice or your principle or in life. So it should be the same when you're creating, especially when you're a creator. You to make a good movie or game even or series, you need to consider the fact that you're not going to do a hero that is good, and you need to forget the fact that you're going to do a villain that is evil, or that is bad, or that is stupid, or that is just doing things to hurt people. This is basically why Attack on Titan is so good. The creators need to forget who is good and who is bad. They need to forget the fact that... Next question. And this is the last question. Who is your favorite character and favorite scene in Attack on Titan? My favorite character is definitely either Angie or Levi. Either Angie or Levi, yes. And my favorite scene in Attack on Titan, to me, Carla getting eaten by Dinah is a big thing. It was already, in my opinion, a big thing, you know, when you watch it the first time, but then when you have the revelation that Dinah is the one who ate her, it's just a bigger thing, you know. I don't think, in my opinion, that any other scene has equal that sense in me. Mainly, I think because it was my first ever reaction to Attack on Titan, so I was, you know, under the shock, under the emotion, under the... I don't think... Obviously, there's some scenes, Erwin's death. Oh! The Susume scene, the Erwin's Susume scene was amazing. So that was the end of the Reactor Onyaku questions. The link is in the chat. Just go a bit up and you'll find it. If you want to check it out, go check it out, subscribe, you know, all that things, because they're doing an amazing job. And I'll be seeing you soon. Bye. Kuruga-san! Mission! Empty glasses! They're gonna meet. Ah! Surprise!